Hello, welcome to the Easy Sales Export Free Training. My name is Sir Abdullahi, and I'm going to take you on this export session today. Export business is one of the most sweetest, lucrative, money-making business that I have known. If only I knew this long before now, God, would I be here? No, but then I am grateful what I have made from this. If you have known within the period I've started, you would want to join me, because export is a business that a lot of people don't know about it, and most of those that knew about it don't want others to know about it, so they just kept it to themselves. But this is a business where you can buy something and you can make profit like 100, 200, 300%. For real. If you can just go to Amazon today and see how much fufu is being sold, like you'll be, really? Fufu? Because fufu is being sold for like $40, just like 300 grams. And that's something you can buy in Nigeria for, let's say, 500 naira, or let's say, because things are expensive now, something that you can buy for 1,005 naira is being sold for almost 40,000 naira abroad. So imagine if you're the one exporting that. A lot of people don't know about it, and those people that knew about it will always give you excuse that exportation, you have to have serious money to go into exportation. There are a lot of risks and whatever. Of course, yes, in everything in life, including this breathing that we're breathing, there are risks. So there's nothing in life, there are no risks, and the higher the risk, the higher the profit. So I am here to encourage you that if you really want to add up to your bank account and add up to your life and add up and spice it up so that you can become successful better than what you are, export is the real deal. Now, what we're going to start with is, what is exportation? Exportation is an international trade from one country to another. Okay, I just made an example with fufu. Let's say you are selling amala. Amala is one of the Western Nigeria food, yeah? So let's say you're selling amala and you produce your amala in Lagos and you sell it to somebody in Benin Republic. You are an exporter of amala. And if you are, let's say, producing on this phone, and you produce this particular phone and you export it to the next country or to a further country, that is also an export. It's not just product, but also service. Are you an accountant, architect, engineer, consultant, doctor, whatever service you produce or you provide, if you are rendering that service to a foreigner or a resident of another country, you are an exporter. If you are a farmer and you're farming or you're producing a crop and you are exporting that crop to another country, you are an exporter. And the person buying that product, whether a foreigner or a resident in the other country, is an importer. So basically, that is an export. The difference is those that are selling locally, they buy their product locally and they sell it locally, they are traders. You buy locally and you sell it internationally, you are an international business tycoon. And in essence, you are an exporter. Want to be an exporter? Let's roll. What are the type of export? Let's look at it. There are three different types of export. There is the direct exportation, the indirect exportation, and the consortium exportation. This information I'm giving you, other people are charging serious money for it, but I'm giving it for free. All right, now what is direct exportation? Direct exportation is a process where you are the manufacturer, producer of the product, okay? And you are also responsible for the packaging, processing, shipping the product to abroad. Not only that, you are also responsible for finding the buyer, negotiating on the price, selling the product, collecting your money, pocketing it, and returning back with your hard-earned currency. Now that is what we call a direct exporter. To explain more further, Let's say you are producing cassava. You produce the cassava. When you produce it, you brought your cutlass, cut it, peel it, chop it, and even grind it into a powdered form. Dried it and find a good pouch and package it. Brand it, label it, and name it Easy Sells Cassava. Right? So now that you have done that, you now search for people that will buy this product abroad. And probably you find somebody from Uzbekistan. And you advertise this product to him, and the person says he wants to try that fufu. The person buys it. You now package this product, move it from Lokoja to Lagos. Then from Lagos, you find a shipping line and you move that product from Lagos to Uzbekistan. The person pays you into your bank account. You pocket the money. You didn't even remind your neighbor that you are now an exporter. Now that is a direct exporter. Now, what are the advantages of a direct exporter? Remember, I said you are the one that produced that cassava, right? You are the one that farmed it. You didn't buy it. And you are the one that chopped it with your cutlass, looking at Inusa, saying, I am minding my business. So after you did everything, you are the one that sold it. So the profit is 100% yours. And also you have the advantage of controlling the price. Because you are the producer, you can even sell it cheaper. And if you are selling it cheaper, even at cheaper, you are making serious money. Why? Because you are the producer and you are selling to the buyer. And in the market, you have a competitive advantage because you are not the only one selling. I am also selling. While you are selling, you will see me there and my price might be better than you. So, but as a direct exporter, you can now say, who is Sir Abdullahi? Sure, I'm the one producing. I will reduce it by 30% and I'm still making profit of over 500%. So you see, you have the control where you can take advantage of the market. So after you have done that, you sell it, you have the control of the pricing, and also you have the control of the standard. Because standardization in export is very important. Not what is working in Nigeria will work elsewhere. Don't think that because you can just give anything to anybody in Nigeria and the person will bring back and you say, no, we don't do refund. Sure, you don't collect. For there, you do, you're on your own. They will return it and you must pay. So you need to maintain standard. And maintaining standard is not just all about the refund. It's about retaining your customer. Now, that guy that bought your product from Uzbekistan, he tried it and he saw how the fufu was drawing. Especially he used owedu, or he used edikaiko, or he used ogbono. Oh boy. And with shaki, edo, erero, atipala, join. And the guy say, oh boy, that thing is flowing. He will want to come back again and buy from you because what? You have a standard. But in a situation whereby you do not have a standard, he bought it the first time and he enjoyed it. And the second time he put it and the thing was just fab. He won't come back again. You will lose a customer. If that stops there without you paying a refund. So that is one of the advantages of a direct exporter. You have the advantage of controlling your pricing. You have the advantage of maintaining the quality standard. Now, the disadvantage here is the issue of maintenance. What do I mean by maintenance? Definitely for you to do that, you need to have a lot of team. You have the farmers that farmed it. You are the one that chopped it. I remember you with that cutlass. But then there are other people that does the packaging, do the clearance and everything and ship the product. Now, these are teams that you are paying, probably monthly or based on project. Now, if there is a slice in market pricing or in demand in the market, it may affect you, and by that, it may affect the cost of the product. Now you need to know how to adjust in terms of pricing. Now that is what I can only think of in the disadvantage of a direct exporter. Now that I have talked about a direct exporter, you only have one thing to think. Who are you? What do you want to be? A direct exporter? Are you a producer, a manufacturer, a farmer, or are you a service provider? If you are that, then direct exportation is good for you. If you're not, there is another one, and we call that one indirect exportation. Let's talk about it. What is indirect exportation? Indirect exportation. Indirect exportation is a process where two entities, two individuals, or two companies come together to achieve one goal. Let me explain this. You are producing this phone, and that is all you do. And another company does not produce this phone, but it is good at selling the product internationally. So these two will come together to form what we call indirect exportation. If you don't understand it, let me take you much better. Now, you are producing this phone. When you produce the phone, you look for people who are what we call commercial exporters or commercial trading companies, right? They will come and buy this product from you locally and pay you in Naira, or they pay you in CD, or they pay you in Sifa, or they pay you in whatever local currency you're using or operating from the country where you're watching me. Now, after they buy this product from you, they will be the ones responsible for shipping the product. And in shipping the product means that they will move the product from your warehouse or from your factory to the port, do the clearing and forwarding, clearance and everything, then place the product either on sea or on air and ship it outside. And they will also be responsible for looking for people that will buy this product. They will sell the product in dollars. You have earned in Naira, they have earned in dollars. All of you are in profit. Everybody is happy. That is indirect export. Now, in other words, why it is indirect export is, as a producer, you have understood your value. You have understood where your strength is. That is where the advantage is. The advantage is, as an indirect exporter, you have identified that, let's say you are a producer, you've identified that my strength is in the production. I cannot handle the export sector. So you can concentrate and have more knowledge in the technical know-how of the production of your product, the exportation, while understanding the technical know-how also in the export process. So this way, everyone is happy. Now, this can happen in two ways. You can have an arrangement. Let's say you are company A and my company name is Easy Sales Export. And you'll now contact me and say, hey, Sir Abdullahi, I am a producer of Bala, or I am a producer of this particular product. I want to produce this product and I want you to be the trading commercial company that will be exporting this product. Now you'll meet me and I'll tell you that, okay, the thing is, yes, there is market for this product. But honestly, I do not have the money to buy your product and export. But we can have a negotiation. We can bring an MOU, you sign, I sign, you bring your lawyer, I bring my lawyer. You bring the product. I'll look at the product. Yes, the value, the quality, everything is set and I know that there is market. We'll agree on the pricing. Let's say that this product that you produce its value locally is, let's say, 10,000 Naira per kg. But in the international market, it can be sold for, let's say, $100, which is close to about 140,000 Naira. Then I'll now say, okay, instead of me buying this product from you at 10,000 Naira, why not relinquish the product to me? Let me go to the international trade because that is where I play ball. You know, that is where my strength is. Let me go and sell it there. Then I'll bring back the dollar. When I bring back the dollar, you and I will share. If you share at 50-50 and I will give you 30%, make a whole 70% as a big boy level. But then it is based on what you all agreed upon. Now that is another arrangement. But then you can decide to say, man, give me my money in Naira. I don't care. Go and sell it if you like. Sell it $1 million. Give me my money locally. So whatever you do is an indirect export, because in indirect export, 2 or 3 companies together to achieve one goal. What is the goal? Production, selling internationally. All right, so that is it. Now, what is the advantage? The advantage is you will all know your strength. The producer will know their strength. They will be improving in their production. They will understand that if we produce this product at this percentage, that is the quality, at this percentage, we have more market. If we do it less than that percentage, we don't have market. So they will understand how to improve on their production. Now, for those that are in the commercial trade, they will also have their strength. They will understand the better shipment, the better clearing and forwarding agent, the better way of sourcing for customers, the better way of pricing, and the best way of collection of payment. Now, that is an indirect exportation. Now, what is the disadvantage? The disadvantage is that for the commercial trading company does not have 100% total control on the pricing, because as a commercial trading company, which majority of you are, do you have company that you are producing? No. Like me, I don't produce anything, but I buy from producers and I export them and I make my money. So the thing is, if you come and the producer now says that no, my product have changed from 10,000 naira, that is the price, into 15,000 naira, you will look elsewhere, right? And you go to the next place, they say 17,000 naira. Sure, you will go back to that your old guy for the 15,000. You don't have a choice. You still have to buy. So maybe in the international market, the price still remain $100. So it means that you will have your profit margin will reduce. So you do not have total control of the pricing. That is one of the disadvantages. Now, the second disadvantage is in terms of quality, because you as a commercial company, commercial trading company, you are not producing the product. Another company is producing the product. You do not have total control over the quality of what they produce. That is another disadvantage. And the third disadvantage is you do not get 100%, because the producer actually had removed his own profit from the original product. And if you are having an MOU where you are having a share percentage in profit, definitely you understand that you are not having a 100% profit. So that is the disadvantage in the indirect export. So where do you think that you belong? Are you a producer or are you a trading company? Have your website, have your TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We are already set as a commercial trading company. That is how I started, and now I am breaking ground in Saudi Arabia, leading all the major markets. You can do that. A lot of people are doing that. You decide what you want to become. Are you a producer or you want to become a commercial trading company in the indirect exportation? Now that I have explained this to you, I hope you understand it. If you still think that it will be difficult for you because it will be cost effective or it is going to be expensive to be an indirect exporter, then there is the third type of export, and that is called the consortium export. You want to know about the consortium export? Let's talk about consortium export, which is the third type of export. Consortium export is very simple. It is a type of export whereby you and many other people or many other business will come together to put up a project. Let me explain it. Let's say you want to export ginger and you want to export 1 container of ginger or 140-foot container of ginger, and all of you do not have the strength or the capacity to do that. So each and everyone, maybe let's say 10 or 20 of you, will come together. This will bring, that other one will bring, and together collectively you will raise up that 40-foot container of ginger and you will export it. Now, that coming together to move one particular project and export it out is what is called consortium. And that is what I do with my students that are learning in my mentorship program. Because I am teaching, just like I am teaching you here how to export, I am equally teaching my student in the mentorship program on not just how to export, but how to sell. Now, because it is not a get quick rich scheme, it is something that requires process. I now introduce this third type of export, which is a consortium, because I have an open market. If I'm going to export 240-feet container of a product, my company will take one 40-feet container and I will take the other 40-feet container and I'll share it within my students that are in the consortium. We will sell it to them, and after that they will make their profit. Now that is a consortium project. So in essence, in the consortium, you may not be the producer and you may equally not be the trading company, but among you are the producers, are the trading commercial companies, and are some who are just investors in the project. This way, everyone can benefit from the exportation. It is more an indirect exportation, but then again, it is a consortium because it brings about a lot of people together. If you are a starter or you are somebody who is looking for someone who can hold you by the hand and walk you through the export world that we have. Thereafter, it is time to look at the advantage and the disadvantage in the export consortium. Let's start with the advantage. The advantage is simple. You may not have big financial muscle to move in the larger export world, but then you can share based on your capacity in the consortium because all of you are coming together. Some will come with higher investment, the other will come with a lower investment. Also, you may not have the technical know-how to go into the export, but with the consortium, you will have another party or entity in the consortium who knows the inside out and the technical know-how of the international trade and will lead you into that. Another advantage is in the consortium, you may not be directly responsible from the sourcing, cleaning, packaging, advertising, pricing, negotiating, commercializing, selling of the product. Another trading commercial company will handle that. So that is one advantage of a consortium project. The disadvantage here is you need to understand that the company that will be leading you in the export world in the consortium have the technical know-how in the international foreign trade. Two, you also need to know that the company has a trust score where you can trust in investing with the exportation. Thirdly, the disadvantage is you cannot have 100% of the profit in the consortium. Example, the one I'm running with my student. I have the market, I have the product, I do everything. So after selling, our company will take a certain percentage from the profit of the trade. So if you are in the consortium, you cannot have 100% of the profit. But having said that, I see this as a better option for those who are starters that want to go into the export world. And that is what I train in my export class and what I give, because while they're learning, they're also earning. Now it's time to look at categories of export. These are two different things: the type of export and the categories of export. And in this session, I am going to take you on that. There are two categories of export. There is the formal export and the informal export. And I'm going to explain each and every one of this in detail where you can understand it better. For the formal export, this is the export where you have to do it with all the necessary documentations. And in this case, mostly it is a large export. What do I mean by that? For you to go into formal exportation, you need to have all the licenses necessary to export your product locally. What do I mean? Let me explain further. Let me take a case of Nigeria. If you are a Nigerian and you want to go into export, you need to have your corporate certification. That is, you need to have your company incorporated. So you should rush to CAC, that is Corporate Affairs Commission. You go to register your company. Now, there are different classifications of company registration. There is business name, there is limited liability, there is association, there is NGO, there are a lot of it. But in this case, I would want to advise you to go for limited liability company. Don't go for business name, because if you go for business name, there is another license that you will require and you won't get it. What is that license? That license is called the Nigerian Export Promotion Council license. So if you want to obtain that license, you need to register your business with Corporate Affairs Commission as a limited liability. So the licenses you need are incorporated certificate as a limited liability company, then your Export Promotion Council certificate exportation license. Now that is Nigeria. If you are a Ghanaian or a Cameroonian or any other nationality, look for the organization or the institution, government institution in your country that are responsible for registration of incorporated companies. Go and register your company with them. Then search again which other agency or institutions are responsible for the registration of exportation in your country. Go and register with them, because you need to have this too before you can start exportation. Now, after you have gained this, you are now, if you will need an extra license depending on the kind of product that you are going to be exporting. If you are exporting, let's say food, then you do not mostly need an extra license, except if you are into processed product, you may need NAFDAC in the case of Nigeria. But if you are into a large exportation where you are exporting raw product, you do not need NAFDAC. If you are into mining, let's say you are exporting lithium, kunzite, tin, lead, or any other of the solid mineral, you may need to go to Ministry of Mines and Steel to go and register for exploration license, mining exploration license. Where you do not have a mining site, you may go and file for possess and purchase license in order to facilitate you to buy and export solid minerals. Also, if you are into exportation of art, then you may need to go to the Ministry of Culture and Tourism to go and get permit to export this kind of product. Other than that, there are no any other certification that you need locally, except if you're exporting outside to the other destination country where you may need an international certificate. Let me give you two examples. If you are exporting your product to the Trump nation or to the Biden nation, let's say you're exporting to US, you will need what is called FDA, Food and Drug Administration. This is an institution in the United States that are responsible for the control of foods that are coming into their country. Also, if you are exporting your product to Saudi Arabia, where our strength is major there, you will need what is called SFDA, Saudi Food and Drug Administration. So these are international licenses that you will require if you are exporting to these two various exporting destinations. So these are some of the licenses that you need when you are going into a formal exportation. Let us look at informal exportation. What do you need to start an informal exportation? This formal exportation is what we call mini exportation, smaller exportation. You do not need CAC to start this exportation, meaning you don't need to have a registered company to start this. Also, you won't need export license to start this. In fact, all you need is your bank account and how to get people to buy. Let me explain it further. To be a mini exporter is very simple. It's identifying people that will buy your product in a smaller quantity, not in a commercial quantity. Let's say 10, 20 kg or 50 kg or highest maybe 100 kg of your product that you will be exporting out. Now this product, you are not going to brand it. You don't have a company. How can you even brand it? With what name? With your name? Inusechuku Emeka Angelina or what? So what you need is just to package the product and ship it to the person that wants to buy. But how can you do that when you do not have these licenses? There are companies, shipping lines that already have this license. They have the CAC incorporation, they also have the export license, and they have the ship. or they have the container. So you will meet them and you will say, okay, this is my product that I want you to ship it to me to Oklahoma. So they will charge you for that, but they will use their company name and their license to ship this product for you. All you need to do is to pay them. So you see, you do not need CAC, incorporated company, and you do not need an export license to achieve this. This is where majority of Africans, majority of Nigerians are now cashing out. The kind of food, you will see food, it will be really colorful. If you taste it, my guy, you will remember, say, your mama really know how to cook. You really need that home taste, for real. That is why Maggi Star is seriously selling abroad. Indomie is seriously selling abroad. Like, all those things are selling because those people there, in fact, I can tell you categorically clear that Africa have one of the best delicacies in the world. So if you are selling this to the world, these Africans that are there are buying from you. If your product, if your pricing, if your packaging is good, they will buy from you. If you know how to get yourself visible, all right, using your social media handle, they will contact you and they will buy from you. Don't worry, in this session, I will show you how these things are being sold abroad with outrageous pricing. How? So this mini exportation, you do not need these licenses. All you need is to leverage on companies that has this to export your product. And this way you can start your export small and you can grow in it. Majority of us started that way, and there is nothing wrong in you starting it that way if you feel that you do not have the financial strength to move the ladder. What I can only encourage you is start small, but do not remain small. So this is all about the two categories of export, the formal and informal. Where do you think you belong? Do you have a registered company, or do you want to have your company registered? If you do, then formal export is good for you. If you think you're small, you're not ready for that, you can go for mini export and you will also be successful in it. In the next slides, I'm going to show you list of exportable products that you can export abroad and you will be successful selling it. One is the agro-food product. When we talk about agro-food product, this include grains, fruits, veggies, and what have you. If you're wondering, I can tell you that ginger, which is part of spices, then there is sesame seed, which is part of grains, and there are fruits like mangoes, strawberries, which are part of fruits. These are in high demands. Then the second category is art. Art is in high demands, especially African art, like the paintings, like the drums, and what have you. These are really in high demand in the international market. So if you're an artist, you have a way in. Also are the woodwork. Majority of Africans, with a particular reference to Nigerians, tend to think that if you are a carpenter, your life ends in the local arena. Trust me, as a carpenter or as a woodwork artist, you have an international demand. All these chairs and tables we are buying from abroad, bringing them, we can easily export it out. Don't worry, in this course, I am going to show you all this kind of materials and how they have been sold. You can imagine just one table that I cannot buy more than 30,000 naira here in Nigeria is being sold for over 120,000 naira abroad. Demand is much. Now, the last, which is the fourth category, are the solid minerals. So if you are a miner or you are into mining, these solid minerals are equally in high demand and they are exportable. If you're in it, you'll have the market if you know how to target your right audience. So these are the list of exportable product category in high demand in the international market. Here we are going to talk about shipping, because export is not complete without shipping. There are three types of shipping. There is sea shipping and there is land shipping. Before I go further, majority of exporters do not consider the land shipping. So let me give you a little idea about the land shipping. A lot of people, from my experience around Adamawa State, I have seen where the soft drinks like Coke, Maltina, and all those soft drinks that we have in Nigeria are being exported to Cameroon. And the road they pass through is a land road. They take it by bus, they take it by car, and they take it by tricycle. Also are exportable by land from Lagos to Benin Republic. Also by land is from Kano, Katsina, Sokoto to Niger. So these are land exportation. But I'm sure majority of you are looking at the two other shipping system, which is the air shipping and the sea shipping. Now let us talk about sea shipping. Sea shipping is where you largely move your product through the sea, where it is being loaded in a container and exported out. Normally this shipping is far more cheaper, but it takes longer time before it arrives its destination. So not every product are ideal or advisable for sea shipping. Because if you are shipping, let's say, fruits that are perishable, it is not advisable that you use sea shipping except if you have a special container. However, there are also other products that are not perishable, but it is advisable that you use air shipping instead of sea shipping. I will talk about this much when we come into the mentorship program, but then this is where I let you know that in the sea shipping there are a lot of advantage. One, if you are in large exportation, it is more advisable that you go into sea shipping because all of your product will be moved into a container and it will be in the ship alongside other containers and it will be shipped to the desired country. Thereafter you will clear your product, but then sea shipping is cheaper and most of those in large exportation prefer the sea shipping than air shipping. However, for those that are mostly in the informal export that are doing mini exportation, preferred to do the air shipping simply because it goes faster and you have a guarantee that your product will reach its destination in no time. Though it is quite much expensive, all you just need to do is to find the shipping line that will ship your product. So this is all about shipping that there is. Even though it's not just all about shipping, there are some certain things that you need to know when it comes to shipping. This will include how do you package your product, whether for sea or air. How do you do your packing list? What are the clearance terms? There are different types of shipping. There is CIF, FOB, and Incoterm terminologies when it comes to shipping. These are what we discuss in my mentorship program, where I train those that are really much interested in the export system. So that is all about shipping. Should you want to learn more, I'll be there and I'll ship you from the level you are into an advanced export level. All right, now let us talk about selling, because in export it's divided or categorized into three. There is the preparing stage. The preparing stage is how you identify the product, how you prepare the product, your registrations, both local and international, determining your profit. Then the second stage is what I just talked about, which is the shipping. And the last stage or the last category is selling. And this is where it gets really interesting. You can know everything about export because exportation is very simple. But if you don't know how to sell your product, you don't have a business. So in selling, you need to be very vigilant and you need to be focused. How do you sell your product? You can sell your product directly to companies. That means you will identify companies that are buying a particular product. Let's say you are selling cocoa. If you're selling cocoa, you need to identify companies that are in chocolates. Now, to identify companies in chocolate, you need to search for countries that are mostly producing chocolates. These are things that you must avoid when going into shipping. One, low quality product. Do not give these people low quality product. Don't go and buy fake product that, let me just ship it to them, share the idea. Don't do that. You're killing yourself. 2, you also make sure that you do not have poor quality packaging, because you may end up crying. Imagine you do a poor packaging and your goods get destroyed in the ship because your packaging is very poor. Now, you also don't want to break the country's custom guidelines. So if you want to export any product, please find out, is this particular product, is it contraband? If it is contraband, my sister, relax. There are other legal products. Forget that contraband. Do the legal one. Make your money with mind at ease. But if you go into contraband, it is 50-50. You may make the money, but at the same time, you can cry, and you don't want to cry in business. All right, then you also want to avoid shipping companies with bad services. There are a lot of Oluwole companies out there. If you fall in the wrong hands, you are on your own. I'm not saying that they will run with your product. You will be asking, where is the location of your product? And the product will be asking, where's the location that I need to be? Everybody will be confused because your product will take longer time before it arrives. And by the time that it arrives, you have lost that customer. And also, do not ship your product to any customer that did not pay you. Export your product to somebody that did not pay you. You are on your own. Don't come back and ask me how. Anybody that says ship product to me, let them pay you. If they say that they don't trust you, there are a lot of payment terms that you can use so that they will be safe and you will be safe. Let me give you a tip. One of them is the escrow service. Another is the advance payment system. There are multiple payment terms which we discuss in my mentorship program. But my tip is, do not ship if you are not being paid. And also, do not give price without calculating every single costs. Like somebody say, Nasuru, how much is a bag? I want you to export this to me. And you'll be like, okay, yeah, I know a bag is 20,000 naira, so I can do 1 ton. No, Nasuru, relax. Before you start that shipping, you need to find out what is the actual cost of the product in the local market. Not just that, the phone you used to call the agent in market to find the price, say you are paying per minute. What is the cost of that call? The transport you use to go to the market to do market survey, you paid? Or you paid for fuel, you need to add it up. After you buy, you will do the cleaning, you will pay laborers, you need to add the cost. After that, you will do packaging, you will buy packaging materials, you will add the cost. After, you will move your product from the local destination to the port. You need to calculate that. Also, you need clearing and forwarding. You need to pay for that service. You need to add that. You also need to add the shipping cost, depending on what kind of shipping you're using. Is it CIF or not? Now, after you have all this calculation, you find out what we call minimum base price. Minimum base price is a system where you make sure that you're not selling at loss. I discussed this much more in my mentorship program. But then you need to do all this before you give price so that you will not be running at loss. Lastly, please do not promise what you cannot deliver. Do not promise what you cannot deliver. A company will say we need 10,000 tons of this particular product every month. And your body will be shaking. I don't hammer. You'll just go and sign MOU. And you come back, you cannot meet up. Mostly in these MOUs, there are conditions. And these conditions might tie you up. So look at it. If companies find you and tell you that they need a certain number that is very large, before you say yes, go and do your research. Check your capabilities. Can you do that? In fact, it's not even can you do that. Is it available in that quantity? Can you meet up? If you cannot meet up, it's better you meet them and tell them that, no, I cannot meet up that, but I can only meet up this. With clear understanding, you can agree on a term and you can start. But where you promise what you cannot deliver, my brother, you are on your own. Or they say that they want you to deliver to product to them via sea in less than 1 month, and ordinarily, even with express shipping on sea, your product can only reach there in 2 months. Do not say you can deliver in 1 month. So these are what you should avoid when exporting or shipping. How to determine where to export your product. Supposing now you have a product that you want to export. How do you know which country to export this product to? Well, it's simple. Go to Google, search for countries with high demand of your product. List them down according to the demand ranking. How do I mean? Now, stop. Go to Google, search for countries with high demand of ginger. You will see list of these countries and write them down according to the ranking. Let's say US is the highest, followed by China, followed by France, followed by Germany, like this, like this, like this, like that, right? So write it down, okay? Now also, if you're selling in Africans abroad, go to Google and search for countries with large number of Africans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Cameroonians, Tanzanians, South Africans. Then narrow the search of that country to state. Let's say you search for countries with highest number of Africans. Let's say they now list out US. Now you want to find out, even in US, states with the highest numbers of Africans. So you start finding places like New York and other places where there are a lot of Africans there. Why? Because if you want to run your advert, you want to target these places, right? So this is how you determine where to export your product, okay? Now also, where to source for your product. Obviously, you know where to source for your product, but I'll always advise that you source for your product directly from the farmers or from direct producers. If you're into crops, you don't want to go to the market behind your street and go and meet Yaramota and say, Yaramota, I want to buy gari, so you be the one supplying the gari. No. You want to go and find the farmers of cassava. See how you can get the cassava and the gari to be made there. It will be cheaper. Because before that gari came to Yaramota, let me explain. The farmer produced the cassava. Somebody bought it, peel it, cut it, chop it, and fry it. Then after the person fried it, a distributor now went and bought it in large quantity, brought it to a larger market in Surulere, right? Then that is where another major distributor bought it again, then take it to Mile 2, where Yaramota can only take 5 minutes to go to the market and buy maybe half bag and come and place it there. So before that gari meet Yaramota, there are about 5 stages of profit, meaning that your profit margin have reduced. So if you really want to go into export, you want to source this product directly from the source, all right? Or from the producers. Producers in the sense that if you want to be exporting things like Milo, Maggi, whatever, you want to go directly to the companies, or better still, to the direct distributor. You don't want to go to the shops or grocery stores in your street and buy it, because you'll be buying it too expensive and your profit margin will be much lower. Now, we want to talk about funding, right? Yeah, export can be very expensive. So a lot of people will say that you need to have serious money before you go into export. True. But then I never knew that you can even go into export if you do not have enough capital. You remember where I talked about the personal shopper, where you can get people to ask you to help them do personal shopping and they pay you? You can do that. Not only that, even in large export, there are systems where you can get export contract with the right payment method. You can take it to the bank and the bank will fund that exportation because they will equally make profit from it. We discussed much this in my mentorship program, but then let us look at how you can get funding for your export. You can do self-funding. That is if you are like you're word up, you have enough financial muscle. Second, you can do partnership. You and I can partner. I bring with some of the money, we do the export. Then there is the bank, like I made mention. Currently, I am in partnership with one of the commercial banks, Sterling Bank, in seeing how we can facilitate loan for those in export business. Also, there are loan companies, there are loan sharks that are out there looking for who they can give loan to. So you can go and find these companies, give them your proposition, and they will lend you the money so that you can start the export. And there's also crowdfunding, where you can do a crowdfunding to get your export. Mostly this is where the consortium comes in. Now, this is an ABC of export, which I have taken you in this few period of time. A lot of people may ask, why am I giving this for free when others are charging hundreds of thousands of naira? Simple. I am a Nigerian and I am an African, and I know that we are blessed. But then we are underutilizing what God had given us. If we can harness this sector, if we can pursue it effectively, we can change the narration of our country, of our community, of our lives and our families. This is my mission, to see that I convert a lot of Nigerians and Africans into the export world, where our lives will all change. I have a bigger market, I have a larger market. I cannot handle it alone. 1,000 of us cannot handle it alone. And if only I can give this tip to you and you can tap into it, your story and your life can change. You can use this and you can grow and succeed in the export business. This is part 1 of our export class. In part 2, I will guide you on how you can get customers that will buy your product. We'll talk about that. Thank you.